I'm gonna take everybody all the way back to one that I used to like to hear at the skate ring for listening to. We're JJ Fad and we're here to rock.
Please understand that everything I say on social media, I would actually say aloud.
But we love to laugh about things like that. But then that's somebody else's life becoming my entertainment. Because we should practice this. Welcome back to We Listen and We Judge. Hey, Brandy.
Hello, how are you guys? Hey, Mom.
Hi. So today we are talking about social battery. Quick definition of what that means is the energy to be in social situations, to be in a room full of strangers or people you know, and continue to talk and have a good time, participate, laugh, network, any of the things that you would do when you're with a group of people. And I guess our question for you today is how do you recharge your social battery? Do you have one, first of all? How do you recharge it? And when it's depleted, how do you respond to situations? Anything else you want to add to that, Brandy?
Well, why did you come up with this topic today?
I came up with social battery because I hear a lot of people say my social battery is empty. I don't want to go. I hear myself saying that at times as well. So I thought it would be an interesting topic. And if we had people from our audience that wanted to weigh in on how they deal with social situations, especially when they're depleted. I hear this now more than ever, too, that a lot of people are introverts, but they have extroverted characteristics. So they're able to, and I said this, I think in our first episode, how I'm an introverted extrovert where I can do a crowd. I can be out and about or outside, as we say, but I would prefer not to be outside if I can help it. Like I like being home. I like being in my she cave, curled up on my beanbag, playing a game on my phone, watching or halfway watching something on Netflix. So that's kind of like my chill zone, and I enjoy doing that. Glorilla says I hate at home. I say I love at home. I'm the total opposite. So that's why I thought about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Honestly, I feel like you're more extroverted and then introverted.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because you do like have a lot of social things that you go to when you hang out a lot more than you realize. And
I do realize it actually, which is why social battery is a topic that I wanted to kind of delve into.
like I think you're more social than you realize.
I think I'm good at being social. I
That
could
could
tell
be
you this, and I may have said this when we first did the next era episode, our very first last season. We do get invited to a lot of things. A lot of times I'll dread it all the way up until the time to actually be there. And then when
right,
I'm there,
right.
I have a good time. I seem to always have a good time, but I just dread it. Like, especially if I have multiple things to do in a weekend or even multiple things to do in a day. My social battery is usually drained if I have a weekend full of things to do. I enjoy supporting and showing up for people, but at the same time, it depletes me sometimes. So
Yeah. And I think that's why people invite you because you are very like social and very happy and you have a good time. Whereas me personally, I do have to work myself up to even go. Like it's not even that I dread it. I want to try to go out, but sometimes like I really can't because of just my anxiety and just the socialness of being with people. There's many times where I just have not gone to things because of like I just couldn't go. Not even that I didn't want to, but it's just my anxiety or my depression took over, which is why I notice like even when I go out, I cannot nothing can be wrong, but it's just like I can't really turn it on sometimes too. It's just too hard or it's too much and it's too many people talking, too many people in one space. So I really am the person where if I'm not, in the headspace, I just really should be home. And
So you're saying you do have the desire to be in the mix, to be outside. And see, I think that may be where I am that introverted extrovert. I don't necessarily have the desire. It's not anything I'm drumming up or creating. I do get asked to participate, to come, to um engage in whatever the activity is, but it's nothing that I'm initiating because my preference is to Netflix and chill. And really I like to play a lot of games, thinking games on my phone, like, my brain is always active. I'm usually, doing I used to do a lot of word games, but when I mastered those so easily and they were no longer challenging, then I started doing visual spatial type games, like moving blocks and trying to make them fit because I am so visually challenged, and so, I'm still on the visual type games now, so that's really what I enjoy doing with my time. But I do wonder, like, for our listening audience, like, how do they navigate social situations? Is it something that you desire? Like you're saying, you desire to do it,
Well,
but just have to
what
get
I
up the
mean is,
nerve.
I know that I shouldn't be home all the time. It's not necessarily that I desire it every weekend, every day, but I do know, okay, if there's 4 weekends in a month, I probably shouldn't be home every single weekend, which I can't honestly do, but loneliness can create more depression, and it's different for me because I've lived alone. Like, you have somebody there at your home, so it's a little bit different. Like, you have somebody to talk to. I used to joke at work, like, I ain't talked to nobody all weekend, so I forgot how to talk. Let me remember how to say stuff, because you can go a whole weekend without saying anything to anybody if you don't call people and talk on the phone. So it's just unhealthy. And it's something also I learned in therapy that you should actually push yourself to go be social because human beings are not meant to be recluse in a way.
You
It's
do
just
think it's unhealthy, though, to go all weekend without saying anything to anybody?
yeah, for multiple weekends, because then you
Oh, for
forget.
multiple weekends. Some
Yeah,
weekends, I don't mind not saying
I
it.
should say you get, like, your it's good for your cognitive brain to talk and know how to react. Then you start getting, like honestly, I think that pushes personality disorders. Like, solitude is not necessarily 100% healthy for long periods of time. That's what they talk about, solitary confinement, where people just go and sit in a jail and never talk to people. Then they come out really weird and don't know how to be social or don't know how to react to things. That's also why people have something against only children because they say they don't know how to, interact with other kids. But in reality, you do have to put yourself in situations where you are social, so you do know how to talk to other adults or talk to other children. Because if you don't do it, if you don't use it, you lose it, in my opinion.
I do think concerted efforts can be made, though, to socialize kids. I mean, you could do play dates.
Right, right.
When you go to church, there's children's church, and so even if you are only child, there's opportunities to be around other kids,
Yeah,
daycare and in school, and then I think it's incumbent upon parents to give kids an opportunity to be around other kids and then teach them how to interact with other kids, before they gradually release it to the kids. Because at some point, you gotta let kids be kids and not be in the middle of everything as an adult, but you can train your children on how to interact with other kids when they're in social situations, and I think that leads to honestly, a lot of the way people behave on social media as well. When you hadn't had regular socialization, then sometimes it causes misbehavior, I guess you would say, on social media where
right,
you say anything and you willing to do anything and treat people any kind of way. Like I remember you bringing up one time people would say to others, kill yourself. Like, why would you tell somebody that?
right.
Like, so I just think it just leads to a lot of social media misbehavior when you don't learn how
Interact.
to socialize and interact with people. But
But
I
you know
think
what?
I do so much socializing and interacting with people that sometimes my battery is kinda empty.
Yeah. The term is "go touch grass," and honestly, it is a good term because when you are being very hypersensitive on social media, every little thing bothers you because you're too wrapped up into a world that doesn't really exist. You do need to go outside and talk to real people who have real conversations and who have real interactions. And that's kinda where I'm going at it too, like, it can just be very unhealthy to stay inside too much. Now, as far as the social battery, I totally understand that. There's a certain time period of the night that I cannot just be outside. I need to go home, I need to go to sleep, I need to rest. And I told you about a story where I was in Edinburgh, Scotland, that's a good example. My social battery was depleted, and it was mostly because it was a bunch of weird men that we don't know coming around, talking to us, and we're in a foreign country. Then one of them trying to dance with me so hard they spill a drink on me. After that, I'm ready to go. I don't want to talk to anybody else. I'm trying my best not to cuss this random man out because get up off me. Like, you already spilled a drink on me. I'm not interested in you. I wasn't interested before. I'm definitely not interested now. That kind of stuff, like human interactions that don't go right, also can deplete your social battery. And you just need to be in solitude and just away from people. And so that was a time where my social battery was in the negatives, and I had to get out of there before it turned ugly. And they were not, one of the girls was not trying to leave. She was trying to stay with these random dudes that we don't know. So I was like, look, I'll go, y'all two stay. Cause if she wanna be out here, and that's another topic I want to talk about. People that want to stay until the lights come on the club. I don't understand it. I will never understand it. It's just something I don't get. Why do we wanna be here till the lights turn on? I have something to do, it's called sleep. I'm go all for a good time, but just staying till the wee minutes of the hou it's the next day almost. It's time to go to breakfast if we staying at 5 a.m. No, I don't wanna do that.
Do you think fear of missing out might have something to do with that?
It's definitely FOMO, and there's nothing I want to see, there's nothing I wanna stay, and honestly, it used to bother me when daddy say this, but it makes sense. He was like, "There's nothing open at 2 a.m. but legs and McDonald's." And I'm just like, "Okay, that's very, obscure to say, but honestly, after a certain amount of time, what are we doing? I don't wanna dance until the next day all night. 2 a.m. is a good time, in my opinion, to leave the club. I can even push to 3, but you talking about 4 a.m., 5 a.m.? Actually, nowadays, I wake up at 5 a.m. to get a workout, so I need to be in bed during the other times of the night. I can't be out here partying.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to broach this topic today because I feel like there is a lot of conversation around how to navigate people face to face now because we've been in this social media era. And I think it's difficult now for in person relationships. I think, and then too, people take everything personally. Um, and I think social media has a lot to do with that as well. A lot of times, somebody's not even talking to you or about you, but you kind of get all wrapped up, offended. If you don't call my name, then you are not talking to me. I've been like that since before social media, and I'm definitely like that during the age of social media. Like if somebody wants me to have a message, you're gonna have to pick up the phone and call me, or you have to pull me to the side when you see me. Otherwise, you're never talking to me on social media because I don't do some of y'all this and some of y'all that and most of y'all this and most of y'all that. You have no idea what I'm doing with my time, effort, and energy. So I don't respond to those types of things. But I think things like that can drain you too. Like if you always wondering, is this about me? If it's about me, then you're gonna have to tell me. Cause I already get drained on just trying to, interact and be engaging and, listen and provide, good feedback for those who ask for it. So it's difficult to insert yourself in things that you're not necessarily called out for. So
It does
I don't know.
create anxiety for yourself. So when you are outside with the people that you're on social media, I guess, with and aren't very sure about the relationships, now you're thinking they're looking at you funny and you might not go and talk to them because you've assumed some things. So I do think social media can deter your social interactions in real life and mess with your social battery. Now you're on the defense and now you are thinking the worst of everybody that you're in the room with. Whereas it could really just be a good time if you don't already have these thoughts in your head. So I think the biggest thing about a social battery is going around people that you actually enjoy being around. Sometimes it's okay to sit out of the event. And a lot of times, don't go anywhere where you're not personally invited could save a lot of people too from having these depleted social batteries. Because it's just already a weird situation if you were not personally invited or you're just tagging along with a friend of a friend and you don't know these people. It's hard to have a good time when you're uncomfortable. Not many people can do it. You have to really be Miss USA friendly, smiling in everybody's faces, and everybody feels warm when you come in to be that person that can go in any room and have a good time. Even at work, sometimes when I just go in a room and it's people already there, I start already being on the defense because I'm like, "Oh, man, I didn't mean to be in this situation. I didn't know these people. I'm not prepared." It's just you have to put yourself in the best situations for you to have fun. You have to hang out with the people that you enjoy hanging out with, and everything does not have to be with you going to get along. Sometimes you gotta tell yourself, "Hey, I need to sit this out." I think people will go a lot further and have better social batteries if they self-select that this is not the event for them, and let me go do something else, or let me go hang out with, people that I enjoy hanging out with every day.
That's true. And I don't know that, I have a hard time with entering to a room. Um, if I'm the last one in the room and everybody's already sitting there, I'm probably the one that be like, "Hey, y'all, what's up?" And they could have been talking about me before I got there. They could be when I walk out, but I guess I don't care. And so, I mean, this is who I am always. And so I don't generally have an issue with that per se. The issue I do have is, like I said, I do feel like my preference is solitude, even though I hear you. We do need humans, and you're right about that, but my preference is solitude. Um, when I'm out, I try to make the best of a situation. I try to have fun in the situation. I try to be supportive of those who want me to be in the situation with them. Um, but if I had a choice, I would choose home. I love it home. I really do. So my social battery is I feel like I have to recharge. So, uh, I stay depleted on the number of things that between me and my husband, the number of things we end up engaged in and involved in. Um, Now when I'm doing things with family, that's different. Uh, I don't feel like I have to, work so hard to engage, I guess, because we have a lot of things in common. We have a lot of goals in common, but in situations where it's not a family event, I do feel like it takes a lot of energy to, I guess, work the room, especially if it's a networking opportunity. I think it takes a lot of energy to work the room and be engaged and be present in the moment. And I do try to be present in the moment. I'm usually not taking pictures and saying, I'm here, I'm usually present in the moment. And maybe some of that will cause um, a little bit of depletion because you are present in the moment the whole time. And so you didn't escape for a minute to post it or to do something else. And so maybe even that helps with a little bit of escapism if you do stop and take pictures or do something that's not requiring interactions with others. I don't know. It's a thought.
I think it depends on if it's your choice or not too, because even sometimes with family events, I kinda get depleted because it's people in the room that I don't really necessarily know. I hate going somewhere where people know me and I don't know them. I just do not like that. And then they expect you to know who they are, and you really don't know them. You hadn't seen them in years, or you just never really knew who they were. And I guess it's the difference when I get older, maybe. But I'm also not in a situation where I know a lot of children either, since I work in HR. I don't really know their kids like that. They'll tell me about them, but I don't really keep up with them. So it's different being the child of someone who's in the education system because they know a lot of teachers, they know a lot of administration, they know a lot of different coaches. And these people know you, but you don't know them. So then it's awkward. And I could say I'm a little awkward and a little bit weird too. I just I have a mixed feeling about it. I do enjoy being with family, I do, but then when they invite somebody that we don't know, and then the people are kinda, like, standoffish, then it's like, that makes it weird. When it's just, us 4, it's pretty cool and relaxing until we start arguing about something stupid or there's a disagreement and everybody being all catty, and we are not the type to just move on. Everybody gonna say what they got to say and then move on. So it can take forever to get through these things. But for the most part, we have a good time. It's just like any normal family. Well, I don't know. Some families don't address things. They just sweep things under the rug. That's the one thing I will say. I do enjoy addressing things. And it comes off as confrontational, but honestly, I feel like it's conflict resolution. I'm not gonna be able to move on until I say what I gotta say. So and then there's events where I choose to go to them, and I usually have a good time, except for okay, I'll say this. this is a perfect example. We went to an event last night. My good friend Amber and I, we went to this derby day. And she is really a social butterfly. She's one of those people, like, she comes in the room, everybody's like flocking to her, very happy to see her, even if they don't know her. She's a really pretty girl, and she'll get a lot of compliments. Everybody's sitting there. So we always have a good time because honestly, most people will talk to her, and I get to just, talk to a few people, but really I get to just be in the environment. And that's why I don't wanna seem like I'm using her, but I do enjoy going out with her because she can do most of the talking and I can just, sit, smile, and relax. I just have a hard time sometimes talking to people I don't know. Sometimes I'm really good at it. I've done public speaking for years, but sometimes it's just really hard for me because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm just in my head and overcomplicating it a lot. And then it was good. It was a cute event. We got to dress up. But then this is when my social battery depleted because we couldn't get any food. We got to, okay, this is another thing. Don't go to Black people events on time. I tried to be fashionably late, but somehow I got there on time, right on the dot. Even when we were kind of trying to, slow down and not be on time, we were still on time on the dot. So we get there, 4 o'clock. The event's supposed to start 4 o'clock. They still saying no. Cool, that's fine. The event's very cute. We just gonna look at the space, get our wine, take the pictures, talk, chill, whatever. Some guy comes, introduce himself, says hello. We're like, hey, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Then we realize, oh, since they're still setting up, it might be a while. So let's go get some food and then come back. He's like, "Oh, no, don't leave. We got food. We're about to eat in 45 minutes." I'm like, "Okay, great." We decide we're gonna stay. We wanna support. We bought these tickets. People come in. It's a Divine Nine event, so they're all doing their things and taking their pictures and, the things that they do. And at this time, it's 5:30. We still ain't had no food. So we look at each other. We say, "Okay, 6 o'clock. We're gonna leave and go get food." Because at this point, my social battery is going into the negatives because I'm hungry. I am dieting right now, only had 2 boiled eggs that day, and I did a workout. So I can't keep getting these. They giving us free drinks, moonshine, champagne. I need food. I don't need alcohol. Some food at this point. It's 6 o'clock. We ask again. Oh, after the lady done singing, she in a 5-song set, still going. Nah, bruh. So we left. I'm sorry to the bruhs, but we left. We had to go get food. And it was beautiful seeing all the Black people in the colorful outfits, and it seemed like they haven't seen each other a long time since their, sorority and fraternity days, and it was great. It was an event for charity. It would have been amazing if they started the food though at 5:30 at the least, or have some hors d'oeuvres, like have little snack things that people can eat. Y'all know some deviled eggs would have been okay to make. You gotta grab. So that also turns my social battery to 0 when I'm hungry. I cannot be social when I'm hungry. So that's another thing I wanted to say too.
Well, for a topic that you wasn't sure you was gonna have anything to say anything about, you sure had a lot to say about.
Yes, last night was a I remember last night was a perfect example of the social battery thing. And
'Cause
after
it's
I
a real thing, right? I wasn't making it up. It is a real thing.
didn't think
Yeah.
it was a bad idea, I just like, you probably should, because I had to think it through a little bit, and then I was like, "You know what? I actually just went through this last night, so let's talk about it too."
Yeah. I go through it on a regular basis, but, it's not because I'm not enjoying the event or wanna be in the moment, but like I said, my preference is chill.
Right,
Um, I do like to I do quiet activism, like, I don't wanna be in the mix with everybody else when I'm helping, getting things done. I just wanna do it really quietly, sometimes anonymously.
right.
Uh, so I'm just that's what I prefer. But a lot of times I end up so opposite of my preference. And I think I just learned to get good at it, to be honest. A lot of my best friend told me yesterday, she was like, "You are so social," and I'm like, "I just know how to do it." Like, she's
Yeah.
like, "I just sat," she said, "I go sit in the corner while you talking to all these people," because
Right.
had gone out for, our brunch time where we chill a few Saturdays out the month. We'll find something fun to do and we'll go chill. And she reminded me, "Yeah, you pretty social," and I'm like, "You think so?" Because I don't know that I am, and she was like, "Yeah,
You
you are."
are. I think you're a little delusional about it, but you are, sir.
Delusion, I just think it's preference versus what I'm just good at it. Well, you called me fake one time, so maybe I'm just fake. But anyway,
You do
it's
be
not
faking it. See, that's the difference also, like, I choose not to fake it. I probably should more. I do respect it now that I'm growing up. I realize, like, why you do the things you do a little bit more now that I've gained some more maturity. But me, if I wanna talk to you, I'm not talking to you. And you gonna either get the hint or you gonna think I'm mean, but it's just like, cannot force me to do something I don't wanna do. That's just how I've
right.
been for the longest, and I will always maintain that. I'm gonna show up for people because I want to show up for people. That's something I wanna do, but you just can't make me do something I don't wanna do. If I don't wanna talk to you, I'm not talking to you. If I don't wanna do this, this, and this, I'm not gonna do it.
Well, like I've been saying, I think throughout a lot of my podcasts, that's why it's so hard to get me to do anything online because I've given you what I got when I saw you, so I'm just not doing too much on
And
social
that's
media
part
anymore.
of the social battery too. You don't have
Yeah,
enough
I'm not
to
reading it.
get
I'm not scrolling. I just when I'm
into
done, I'm done, and I don't have
the
to connect.
internet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
I can
social battery
disconnect.
has a geotag and it stops at the internet. Yes.
When I get to the house, my social battery is it's down. I take it out the pack and I wind down and I just disconnect. And so that's why it's so hard. A lot of people, there will be shocking things on social media and they'll screenshot it and send it to me because they know I ain't seen it. Like I just, when I finally get home, I'm socially done. So yeah, I know you said you got to share stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm so just tired of socialism by the time I get to the house, and I know that's the wrong word because socialism means something totally different. But
Well, I think that could be a new word for the internet, socialism, the study of your internet interactions in your
yeah,
world versus your real world interactions.
we have to call it internet socialism so that it's not confused with the other socialism that has become such a super political terms of socialism, which is just as weird. But anyway,
Or we could call it media socialism.
yeah,
I think
media
that's
social. I like it. Well,
the
just out to our listener audience, do you have a social battery? And if so, how do you recharge it? My way to recharge it is once I get home, like you said, I have a geotag on mine. We're internet disconnecting sometimes, and um, the reason why I see it when you text me is because I do be playing a game on my phone, or I have my Bible app. Sometimes I'm reading different passages or whatever. So that's how I see the text message that's sent, but I'm usually not on the internet, so
yeah. All right. Well, what are you listening to right now?
we just watched Michael last night. It was very good. It was a very good watch. If, you are into biopics, I think, that's a good watch, and then it just reminded me that Michael really was the greatest of all times. I know, sometimes as you rise to the top, your name gets tangled up with a lot of things and scandal and things like that, but if that was accurate, and I feel like it was, he was a really good person, and I think he cared about, kids and the well-being of others, and so, and that reminds me just of this conversation on Social Battery because they were just trying to get him to do, and I don't wanna tell the film because I know several people still wanna see it, but just this one thing because it connects to what we were talking about. They were trying to get him to do promotions and commercials and things like that, and he said, "No, why can't the music just, promote itself?" I want you gotta have some mystery. There gotta be something mysterious about you. So I that connected with me because 'cause I'm like, yeah, people don't need to know every single thing about you, and you don't have to, sell yourself on every single thing. And so I like that statement that he said, there has to be some mystery. And I know a lot of people complain, and I know you say I'm a Beehive fan, but that's just because I be seeing this stuff on TikTok. But some people be saying, she won't talk to us anymore. Leave that girl alone. Like she putting she putting out a lot of music. She don't have to do interviews and things like that. So that kind of goes back to what Michael was saying. I don't need to go on these shows and do interviews. Get my music on MTV. Let people see my videos. Let this, that tell the story. The music and the videos tell the story.
And honestly, it only works for certain people. There's only certain people that really are Like, they feel like they're your best friend that you could talk to. And if that is not how it appears, it can do the opposite. It can become gimmicky. It becomes not something people wanna really tune into or and sometimes some artists just talk too much. They don't realize they don't have the best personality, they're not the most outgoing, they're not the most charming, and sometimes they're a-holes, so maybe they should just shut up and do their job. But that's just my take on it. So
Well, I
I
do
agree
sug
with Michael. So,
yeah, I do suggest people go check it out.
yeah. Alright, I'm listening to Lotto, her new song, GOMF, and it's perfect for this episode that we're talking about social battery because the title is actually "Get Out My Face." I think you need to go listen to it because it sounds like you need people to get out of your face a little bit.
Well,
So,
I might just need to get out of theirs, I don't know.
yeah. But I like the song, it's really good. I like her voice, I like Gl Glover's, and I was a little bit harsh on her about business and personal, but I think she redeemed herself. I'm a Lotto fan, and I like her music, so I'm glad to see she putting out some heat. Now, do you have any, judging you question?
Not this week, I do not have a judging you question. Do you?
Well, somebody did reach out again to, help out with the podcast. I set a meeting, so we'll see how it goes.
Great. Is it somebody who wants to help with producing or, editing or
Yeah, more so editing and things like that. So hopefully, it can work out. But we thank you. We hope you guys can tune in for this week's episode. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on TikTok. We do post well, I do post to Facebook too when the episode has dropped. And then of course the teaser on the Fridays. So we will see you around.
Yeah, see you next time on We Listen and We Judge.